The only one that needs to know what you're doing is you. And if you don't know what you're doing, that's what you'll be experiencing. Carlo.
What are the fruits? If you're continuously in conflict, for example, ultimately, we have to look at ourselves. I remember one of my coaching clients, no matter what job she went to, there was conflict. And she finally realized after several years of conflict that the commonality of each job that she found herself in conflict was her. Once she changed her, the conflict stopped.
Smile on your mug can do a world of difference in a day.
Yeah.
So, you're told lighten up. You're all heavy on yourself. Lighten up. If you're in a lighten up mood, you see things differently. And that's what you want. You want them differently, don't you? Well, then get lighten up. You are the light of the world, you're told. So telling you to lighten up because you keep drifting off into these dark thoughts and look at TV right now, man. With the Halloween going on, it's all that murdering and scary and the kind of stuff. Don't do that to yourself. Actually, I know you think, oh, I just what? Yeah, well, okay. There'll be a time when you're going, what was I thinking? What was I feeling? If a man thinketh in his heart, so is he, so does he, so has he. What was I thinking? To get to here. And I'm told I can change it. What are you doing about it? That's what are you doing about it? You're the one setting the trip. You're the one told choose this day. And so, you know, what are you choosing? What are you choosing to think about? Scary, scary stuff. You see, you're thinking ahead of your evidence, so you better watch that. 100,000 people a day get injured, killed on the freeway. You think you think you're not brave? Getting on a freeway, that's brave. Especially when you know you're surrounded by hundreds of people you don't know, and you don't know what their attitude is. You don't know what they're feeling. I've been driving along and seeing this guy, and he's pounding on a steering wheel and making faces and steer away from him.
Exactly. Exactly.
Sorry to sick you on somebody else, but no. Oh Lord. Yeah, all you need to do is to just save yourself. You're given to do that. You work out your own salvation. That means you can do that. But you have to be hungry to know first person. See, that's what I always look for when I get these calls from people. I want someone who's thinking ahead of their evidence positively. If they're not thinking positive, then why bother? They're not hungry. Why go in there and fix up a meal for them? And it's a delectable meal, really. It really is. And actually, it's not what you think. See, I always put it off and put it off. See, because well, it was more comfortable at the moment to just put it aside because you just didn't want to deal with it. But the point is, once you start dealing with it, you find out that's what you really were looking for to do. I mean, I'm often asked, well, what do you do for a pastime? Or what? Pastime? Well, what is that? You know, no, no, just pastime. If you're just passing time, what are you doing? Nothing. Setting yourself up probably for a problem, but you really wouldn't expect that. You get it anyway because you're told you will, as you think you are. That's as simple as you can get it. And like I said, if you were leaving your children, us, a message, when you make it simple, I mean, you would make sure everybody at whatever level of mindsets, they'd still get it. It's simple as you think you are. If you can get around that, I don't think so. Do you?
Absolutely not. I was still reflecting upon the freeway scenario that we were talking about. And you said something. You said, listen, you see a person that's angry on the freeway, I steer clear of them. And likewise with life, a lot of times we see people that are emotionally unstable. And what we want to try to do is fix them and get them out of that state. You're not going to get them out of that state at that moment. The best thing you can do at that moment is steer clear of them, let them calm down, and then possibly approach them. But if you're trying to approach somebody in one of those states, you're headed for trouble.
Oh yeah, you just stir the pot. That's
Yeah,
all. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And they'll be able to use everything you say against you.
yeah,
So, but you see, the thing of it is, like I said before, in the beginning, I always wanted to convince people of what I'm telling them. But you see, I was told that's not your job. That was not your assignment. Your assignment was merely a middleman. You delivered to them their message. Nothing I made up. I just delivered to you your own message. And whether you like it or not, that's your business, not mine. Follow it. That's your business, not mine. Follow it. It works for me. And it has worked for me. And it's still working for me. And it's working for you if you will let it. See, the word in there is let go and let God. See, you have to let it go. He's not going to take anything from me. I always hear, "Oh, why did God take my home, burn it down? And why?" No, no, that wasn't God. He didn't do stuff like that. He may do it, but it's through you. See, if God didn't do it, it wasn't done. That's true. But it was because of what you were thinking and feeling. That's the outcome, right?
absolutely. Job said, the thing that I have feared has come upon me.
That's it. But he never blamed God for it. He realized that I'm in control. I'm the one claiming. What are you claiming? But you are claiming all the time. Well, claiming what? Oh, I'm cold. Being stupid. You see, you won't talk about that one. Oh, you'll act it up, but you won't talk about it. And I'm only telling you this because I know this first person. It's like when I had a new employee, tell him, "Hey, look, you ain't even old enough to make as many mistakes as I have, how many screw ups. But the thing of it is, let me know if you do something. I've had plenty of experience cleaning up messes that I made, so I can probably take care of it, and nobody will ever know anything even happened. But once they know something happened, there's no fixing it.
Yeah,
So, so that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to tell you that it's you doing it. If you hadn't thought it, it wouldn't happen. If it happened and you didn't think about it, then something's wrong.
yeah.
And actually, if somebody's mistaking, I'm afraid I have to go in God's favor. I mean, not prejudiced or nothing, but just for witnessing. Understand? That's all we're here is. It's just a witness. You know, we don't go around putting on ears and chopped off ears. No, we don't do nothing like that. But all we're here to do is just deliver you your message, and what you do with it, that's your business. I don't need to know. I don't even need to know you. It's your message. I know that you were a child born of a woman. Okay, that qualifies you. So start from there. It's yours. Take it. Do with it what you will. We'll figure it out eventually. I don't know how many years it took me to figure it out. But it's a hard nut to crack when you got all this input coming in. And how much of it you collect unaware. See, you hear it a few times and you remember those things, but they're not worth remembering. See, that's what you want to listen for when you're hearing people give speeches and that. What am I to recognize here? The stories of Scripture, they're stories. They have an essence for you to pick up on. You have to be hungry to know first person. Be looking for it. Understand you're in charge. Take charge. You're given. Choose this day. So you're in charge. Take charge. That's all you have to do. Just question yourself. That it's easier said than done, someone says. Well, but that's the beauty of it is that that's what we were given to do. We were not given to make it so. We were given to think it so. Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was thinking as you were speaking that often we write scripts for ourselves that don't always serve us.
Yeah. Thinking negative is writing a script for yourself. And understand if you're not enjoying it when you're thinking about what it would be like, then you're not going to enjoy it when it happens.
Absolutely.
And you'll say, well, why me? Why? Yeah, well, that's why. You can't find anybody else to hang it on. See, you can't. Oh, I mean, falsely you will, but not legitimate. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So super simple, so easy to understand, and yet what great lengths we go to avoid it. How many lies you got to tell yourself? Oh, hey, God, Scripture's telling us not one worthy. So you're lying to yourself about something. If you ain't enjoying life, that's what you're lying to yourself about. If you're not enjoying life, you're lying to yourself about something because God didn't put it that way. He told you, be fruitful, multiply, enjoy life. That's what you're supposed to do. But you have to think on that lane. You got to think in that manner. See, if you think nonsense thoughts, then you get more nonsense poured on. And then what do you got? You got a house full of junk. And you keep storing it. Why? Because look, if you have an attitude that's not serving you, drop it. Really, let go. Like I said, nothing's going to be taken away from you. You have to let it go. See? People say, well, I let it go and I let it go. Let what go? Maybe they'll just look at this didn't happen. What? Didn't happen.
Exactly.
Come on, we play games with ourselves and then we blame other people because we lose. you gotta blame somebody, and usually not self. It never was with me. I had a whole string of people to blame, and I was justified. I could have had a dozen people agree with me, right? You know how that works. Just remember this: you're always thinking ahead of the experiencing in your everydayness. What are you saying to yourself? All you have to do is watch that. That's all you have to watch. What other people are saying, what are you saying to yourself? Suggesting to yourself. You know, if you just listen to the suggestions you make to yourself, I don't know that. When I started thinking what I was actually thinking about and claiming, didn't need a devil. I mean, I took care of all that was necessary right there. Who needs a devil? Matter of fact, he'd have to be worried about what I'm thinking. No, we're on all the time. That's see, there's no break, no place to stop. If you die, but even there, you're told nothing transforming in death. You get to play it all again. So make sure that what you go, look, whatever attitude, assumptions, moods, attitude, whatever you go with, that goes with you. See, nothing else goes with you, but that goes with you. So you get to start right off where you left off. So you ain't really no better off for dying. And you could die and die and die, but it says until you change your mind, you change your world. Otherwise, it stays exactly the same. It's a play. Humanity is a play. Humanity is a dream. All of this is a virtual reality. All of it. All of it. Except you. Your spirit. But you haven't recognized that yet, but you will. Eventually, like I said, why keep putting it off? I mean, you're told now is the appointed hour of desired change. Well, wouldn't recognizing who you are, wouldn't that be a lovely change? Actually, it's pretty nice. Even a little bit more better. But you got to start somewhere. And that's the whole problem in it, starting.
Absolutely. I want to go back to what you said earlier. You said, because this really needs to be put on a t shirt. You said we play games with ourselves and then we blame others when we lose. And like I said, that needs to be on a t shirt.
Yeah, the thing of it is, you see, what's coming in the ear here, it's just chatter. If you take it seriously, you know, you don't need. I know the programming says, yeah, well, things you need to know. You know, some guy had an accident in Florida. They're telling me about how tragic it is. Oh, why? Why do I need to know that? I'm sure that only it wasn't just Florida. I'm sure there's probably been one in every state in the union. Why didn't I need to know about them? See, you just those fillers. Those fillers make you think you should need to know about this. You don't need to know that. If you don't know what you're thinking, then that's the problem. That you do need to know, and that's the last thing you get around to really knowing. I well, when you see in retrospect how many times you put off the very thing you're looking for, in retrospect, you'll see it. It's really embarrassing to know that it was always right in front of you. You're thinking ahead of your evidence, so it's right in front of you. You see, you're in the evidence, and you're complaining about that. Only gets you more to complain about, because all things produce after their own kind. So you're really on a run right there. You can stop. See, you're told the Lord belongs escape. What is he escaping from? Me. That's what he's escaping from. What I'm thinking and feeling. But he's not complaining, because he gave you choose this day. So he's not complaining. He's just telling you, look, if you don't like this, change your mind, change your world. There you go. I don't know, just for some reason it just seems so super simple to me. But I know how people complicate the simplest ideas. I mean, that's what all these wars are about, isn't
It
it?
is ideals. Yeah,
You think it by now they would have figured it out. It don't matter how many thousands you got, and you don't win nothing. I mean, can you imagine the mess? All of those. You're sitting there watching a little light, and then the building goes. Come on, man. Why all of this discontent? Think only on things that are lovely and of good report. Why wouldn't you do that? I know I put it off for
yeah,
many years, but that was just my ignorance. That's all. And that's all it is, just ignorance. You just don't know about it. And the people who are taking care of you as a child, they may not have it together. So you have to consider that they may be warm, well-meaning people, but that still don't mean that they got it together. They can still be missing parts you really need to know about. But then you're told that coming of age, reasoning for yourself, that's where it's important. You're given to childhood, and I don't know, some really get messed up right off the bat, but it's still an idea of thinking for yourself. Of course, if it's mental illness, that's something else too. But then even that is also a dream. See, it's all a dream. That's what you understand. We are dreaming. And the more fighting you're doing means that's what you're doing. You're dreaming a nightmare. That's all. But it's all a dream. God's dream. And it all goes away. And there you are.
mm,
I am.
yeah.
All there is. It's all there is. Enjoy life. It's all given to you for free. It costs you a nickel. But you gotta still have to live it. Why live it in distress? Why live it in unhappiness? Be happy. You know, they're constantly telling you, oh, you need this, and you want to make sure you smell good and all that stuff. That's one. I'm sure glad they don't have smell-o-vision. Oh, they will probably come up with that too. As a matter of fact, I do remember somebody saying, well, they started it off with the little cartoons at the movies at the drive-in where it says, "Go down no too far and get the hot popcorn and all of that stuff." They follow through with it their whole life, unaware that they're doing so, following the direction of everybody else. The only thing you were given to do here is to direct your own self-talk. That's your only job. Do that satisfactorily to yourself, you'll be happy. Otherwise, you have a choice, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You were talking earlier, and I wanted to bring this back up. You know, when you go through scriptures, I often say from Genesis to Revelation, this is your story. And when we hear about the wars in scripture, it really talks about the internal wars. And likewise, when we see stuff going on the without, wars, rumors of wars, and so forth, what we can know is that the person that's causing chaos is coming from a place of chaos. They have chaos going on within them, so that chaos can only be directed outward. So what we're seeing is their inner story being outpictured.
If you're going to war, that's just you trying to prove yourself. That's all. And is it worth it? I mean, is it worth it? You know, what I saw was not worth it.
No.
I mean, if wave flags and all of that, that's wonderful, but still, it was not the way to go about it.
Yeah.
I mean, the top men should be looking at diplomacy,
Yeah.
you know, and not arm twisting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or leg twisting, you know, man, it twists you up somehow, and that's all. That's all. And I don't even want to get in there.
You know, it's funny that you say that because it goes back to what you said earlier when you were delivering the message. You wanted to make people do. And Spirit said to you, no, 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 that's not your job. Your job is to deliver the message. And that's the job, to deliver the message. And I think that many times we think that we can force somebody. You can't force change in anyone except yourself.
And God is not forcing anything on you either. See, you're told you receive not because you ask not. In other words, you're not asking for what you really want, otherwise you'd be getting it. And if you're not getting it, then you're not asking properly. And that's all there is to it. You asking properly. You're told there's a specific way to ask. Believing is receiving. What are you told when you pray? Believe that you have received that for what you're asking for. If you didn't get up and take it with you, then you didn't believe it. And I don't care how many ceremonies, doctrines, creeds, or whatever they got. It's what you think you are. Those don't mean anything unless they mean something to you. And then if you're not looking at them to see if they have any meaning for you, then you're denying yourself. It's all out there. I know it's out there. I hear them. I turn on the radio and hear them. They're all telling you pretty much the same thing. But I don't know if they're expressing it properly, but that they're telling you right, really, even if they don't believe it. But then that's what a cult is. They don't believe it as long as they can make you believe it. But that can be dangerous too, hazardous to your health. I mean, Jones did that. Jones did that for you. Can you imagine that many people? I mean, talk about not being able to think for yourself, man. I mean, and the goings on that were going on are totally a lie compared to what they're supposed to be teaching. And yet it's at the highest level. I remember the Pope made a statement, and the whole world publishing went crazy. And then they had the whole Vatican out trying to know what was said, but it was said. They quoted it pretty good. Like the same thing they're doing with just ancient aliens. You don't know what that is flying around out there, but I can't believe that they think that God stopped with this little planet.
Yeah.
Come on. You got the right stuff, but you're not thinking right about it. It's with you. It's actually nearer than your DNA, and that's pretty near as you think you are. So, I don't know how else to say it.
No other way to say it, and we'll end on that note, and we'll say it's definitely been a pleasure.
Oh, it always is. It always is. I like to hear me talk.
I like to hear you talk.